Okay, it looks like it's going, and the video's going, and it should be recording at this time. I'm hoping it's recording because okay, it should be recording right now. What I want you to do is on the video, hold on, I don't know what just happened. On the video, you see that we have the quotient rule, dividing monomials. To divide monomials, use a quotient rule. That means divide. Quotient means divide. These will be in a fraction form, so you have x to the a, x to the b equal x ab. And you're gonna, where product rule you multiplied, this one you're going to subtract. So that's how you're going to do these lessons right here. The quotient rule is just you're going to subtract the exponents. That's all you're going to do. So how it's different. So if you have x to the fifth, x to the third equals x to the 5 minus 3, and that would be x squared. Here you would have k, 12. You'd use the top number over the bottom number. The top number over the bottom number is what you need to make sure you're having. So it's 12 minus 2 is 10. M to the third power, m to the third power, we see that it equals m to the 0 power. That is always just 1, and you don't have to write this piece right here at all. The answer is 1, so when you're multiplying, you're going to multiply 1. If you have multiple variables, you only can use the A's, go with the A's, the B's go with the B's. A, 6 minus 2. B, 4 minus 3 is A to the 4th power, B to the 1st power. And you don't have to put that 1. This one, P to the 7th power, P to the 4th power is P, 7 take away 4. Q to the 16th power, Q to the 12th power is Q to the 16 minus 12, which is P cubed, Q to the 4th power. And then this one is just like that, but you see that there is x 20 minus 5, y 9 minus 9, and z 2 minus 1, which gives you x to the 15th, y to the 0, which is 1, and z to the 1st power. So you can put that 1 over here to the side, which is x to the 15th, z to the 1st power, which you just have to write x to the 15th, z would be your final answer. When you're looking at examples with coefficients, that means with numbers, coefficient means numbers, you're going to divide the coefficient or divide the numbers just like you would in any division problem, and then simplify when you're and then simplify the variables and the quotient rules. When you're dividing coefficients, that's like reducing fractions. Simplifying means you're going to do just what we did right here in the quotient rule. You're going to subtract the exponents when you divide. So if you have the very first one, we know that 2 goes into 6. 6 divided by 2 is 3. X minus 4 minus 3, because you have a 4 on top. It's always what the top goes into the bottom. 3x is your final answer. 14 and 7. 14 divided by 7 is 2. R, 2 minus 1. S, 2 minus 1 is 2RS. Negative 36 and 4. 4 goes into 36, or 36 divided by 4 is negative 9. You see the negative right here, so make sure you put the negative 9 right here. C, 2 minus 2. D, 5 minus 3, which equals, the C is just 1, so we don't have to do anything. 1 times 9 is 9. Negative 9d squared, and that's all you have to do on that problem. Look at number 10. You see that negative 15 and negative 3 makes a positive 5. X, 6 minus 5. Y, 5 minus 3. And we see that there is no z on the bottom. that is okay. You're just going to put your z, you're just going to completely just rewrite your z. So you would have 5x y squared, and then the z is from the top. It would be like z over 1, so that's the reason you can do that. When you have the denominator is smaller than the numerator is smaller than the denominator, it's going to be a fraction. So we know that 4 and 8, both 4 will go into 4 and 8, so it's 1/2. 4 goes into 4 one time, 4 goes into 8 two times. In 5 minus 1 would be 1/2 n to the 4th power. The next one is you have 36 and 54. Finding the common denominator might be difficult. We know that 9 right off the bat goes into both of them. So I could say 9 goes into 36 4 times. 9 goes into 54 6 times. We see that that is still positive. So we can divide those by 2, which would be 2/3. Or we could have just started out with 18 if you knew off the bat that 18 was your greatest common factor. You would then do m, 9 minus 3, n, 5 minus 2 would be m to the 6th, n to the 3rd. And that's how you would do that one. Let's look at some of these mixed practice problems. If you look at some of these mixed practice problems, you see that 3x to the 5th, and here we have you're going to have to do the exponent raising the power here. So when you raise the power, you multiply these two numbers right here. So you would have, well, you first have, you're going to multiply your coefficient, your number. So 3 times 3, because 3 to the 2nd power is 9, x, 5 times 2 would make 9x to the 10th power. And you just rewrite your 27x to the 3rd power. Then you're going to, we see our numerator is smaller than our denominator, so it's going to be a fraction. We know that 9 goes into 27. So 9 divided by 9 is 1. 9 divided by 27 divided by 9 is 3. And then we have x 10 minus 3, because when you divide, you subtract the exponents, which is 1/3 x to the 7th power. This one, you see it is again raised to the 3rd power. You're going to first take care of the coefficient. 2 to the 3rd power is 8. 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. 8a to 2 times 3, because we're going to multiply, and b 4 times 3, and I rewrote. So then we have 8, a to the 6th, b to the 12th, and then 4a cubed, b to the 7th power. Then to get rid of your division problem, you would have 8 is higher, so 4 goes into 8 two times. A to the 6 minus 3, b to the 12 minus 7 gives you a to the 3rd, b to the 12th. And you can do 15 and 16 on your own. Let's look at number 17. In this one, we see that both of these, you have the parentheses over your whole thing. That means you're going to cube root everything in your whole equation. So 2 cubed is 8, m 4 times 3, n 2 times 3. Here you're going to cube 4, which is 4 times 4 equals 16, times 4 is 64. So you're going to have 64 m to the 2 times 3, n to the 3rd, because it's 1 times 3. So then we put those together, which gives you 8m to the 12th, n to the 6th, 64, m to the 6th, n to the 3rd. Then you're going to get rid of your division problem. And we see that 8 goes into 64 evenly, so it's 1/8 m, 12 minus 6, n, 6 minus 3, which is 1/8 m to the 6th power, n to the 3rd power. And number 18 is similar, 19 is similar, and we're going to do number 20 because you have a multiplication problem in here as well. So This one is not raised to the power, but you're going to use your multiplication rule. 9, you're going to multiply the coefficients. 9 times 4 is 36. And remember, when we multiply, we add the exponents. X to the 5th, x to the 1 is x to the 6th. Y to the 6th plus y to the 7th is y is y to the 7th. Rewrite your bottom number, and then you're going to do the division rule. 6 minus 2, because you subtract when you divide, you add when you multiply. 7 minus 4, which would be 6x to the 4th power, y to the 3rd. Now let's do number 21. You see that 2p, you're going to multiply again. Multiply your coefficients. 2 times 3 is 6. P1 plus P2 is P3. Q1 plus Q4 is Q5. And you see that we have a negative 6PQ5 down here, so be sure you write that. So when you reduce that, 6 and a negative 6, that's going to be a negative 1. P, 3 minus 1. Q, 5 minus 5. Well, we know 5 minus 5 is a 0. So that would give you a negative P squared. You don't have to even write the Q, because 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. Stays the same. You can do 22 by yourself. You can do 23 by yourself. And we'll do number 24. It's a little bit more difficult. Let's look at that. Okay, you see that you have a raised power here. You need to do that first. Do the raised powers first. 3 to the squared is 9. M to the 2 times 2. This would be 4 squared. It's not 4 times 2, it's 4 times 4, which is positive 16, because when you have a even exponent power rule exponent, you're going to multiply the number by itself, and that makes a positive. Negative 4 times negative 4 is a positive 4. N 5 times 2. So that gives you 9m to the 4th, 16 n to the 16th. You can't really read that very well. I had to change it. And then this would be 8m to the cubed n to the 4th. Then when you're going to multiply, because you're going to use the multiplication rule right here, would be 144 m to the 4th, because there's nothing to multiply it with, and n to the 10th. You don't do anything. Put the number down. Then you're going to use your division rule. 8 goes into 144 18 times. M4 minus 3 is M1. N10 minus 4 is N6. Just make sure you're going through the steps and doing each thing first. You're going to do what's in the parentheses first. You're going to do the power, then you're going to do your multiplication, and then you'll do your division. So make sure you do those in order, and that will help you a whole lot on those. Let's look at 25. You see that we are just going to use the multiplication rule. 8 times 3 is negative 24. C1 plus C4 is C5. D3 plus D nothing is D3. And you're going to put that down. And you see we're subtracting from this right here. So we haven't done the subtraction piece yet. That's going to be last. Then you're going to use your division rule to get rid of this piece. 6 goes into 24. You see a negative sign, negative 4. You have C5 minus 2 is 3. D3 minus 1 is D2. So now you see that these are like terms, and you can subtract. We have a negative and a negative, which makes a negative answer, negative 13 C cubed D squared. And that's how you do that. Make sure you do your order. Do your multiplication, then do your division, then do your subtraction. You can do this one the same way, except the last piece is going to be your addition piece. And you can do 27 and 28. They're all similar problems. For practice, you will turn in the homework 3 for your homework. This is what you will do for your homework. And Friday, you will need to be taking the, Thursday, you will need to be taking your quiz. Your quiz is several pages long, and it's practicing everything you have. You may use any kind of notes that you have, the teaching pages. You may, but don't call your friends. That would not be a quiz. We want to know what you know, because this is going to, we want to know how well you're learning these rules and being able to apply these rules. And your notes should be sufficient for you to do these. And you'll turn them in. This is the first page, and then you have another page of your quiz. So there's 2 pages on the quiz that you'll need to do. It shouldn't take you very long. They're just problems exactly like what you've been practicing, except with different numbers. Good luck on your quiz. Good luck on your homework. Have a happy learning. Bye.